Trails to you. We'll meet again. Happy trails to all of you, because we'll meet again when we do the second volume of Roy Rogers, the best of. This is the first volume that everyone's been waiting for, which has the best of the Alex Toth and John Buscema, two very, very fine artists, work on the Roy Rogers and Trigger comics. And this is a phenomenal cover, which was taken from several movie posters and composited in Photoshop and repainted in Photoshop to create this brand new original cover. It's quite a striking cover. And then we have the book itself, which has a printed laminated cover. And the end papers are really striking. There's the front. Here's the back. The front was done by Alex Toth. The back ones were done by John Buscema. Here is the title page. You'll notice that the back of the end leaf has a red flood color, which matches the red in Roy Rogers. Table of contents. Now, we've got a lot of documentary material in this particular book. First of all, we have a foreword by Roy Rogers Jr., or Dusty, as he's known to those who know him. And Dusty selected his favorite stories, which are in this book. And Dusty was extremely important and helpful in this book. And we have nothing but gratitude for him being involved in this project. And there's another person who's just as important, because Roy Rogers, incidentally, they're making a Broadway show involving Roy Rogers and Dale Evans. And then, of course, there's Jeff Kramer, who is involved with all of the licensing and makes sure that all Roy Rogers products embody Roy Rogers and Dale Evans. And you know what's really neat about Roy Rogers and Dale Evans is that they were just like they were in the movies and television. They were real people, and they were actually really, really nice, and just the way you saw them on television and in the movies. And Dusty's the same way. And it's really marvelous to deal with people that are genuinely nice and who they are. So we have a big essay here on Alex Toth. That is a panel from the daily strip that was signed by Mike Aarons, but he didn't do it. Alex Toth did. And then we have the essay has pages from a very famous standard story standard comic story that Alex Toth did called Crushed Gardenia. And then it has an interior. These are original art. And then the original art from a Rip Hunter Time Master from DC Comics. And then, of course, as everybody who loves Alex Toth, and who doesn't love Alex Toth, he designed Space Ghost. So we have one of the original Space Ghost model sheets, a scan of it, and a scan of one of the model sheets from the Galaxy Trio, Vapor Girl, whatever they called her. And more original artwork from the strip to show you Alex Toth's artwork. And then there's a big essay on John Buscema and Roy Rogers, which also has John Buscema original art in it. So we cover the artists, and Dusty has comments with regards to these books. And then we have the books. And as usual, Troy Musquare and Candace Hardner, who did the digital reconstructions in this particular book, did a really fine job with these. These were printed by Dell Comics. At the end of a story, if we have an extra page, we'll put in a picture of Roy and Trigger, or we'll put in some lunch boxes or hats, or items that were sold in the 50s and 60s. For instance, the watches, model lunch boxes, guns, things like that were sold, promoting Roy Rogers. They were Roy Rogers products. You can see the job of the reconstruction. Let's get a look at one of these pages here. Here's a nice one with a nice close-up of Roy Rogers. Take a look at that. Hold it up there. So these were scanned, and then they were digitally reconstructed. We did not remove the screens, so you have all of the halftones. You have all of the screening. So they look like the original comic books, but they look perfect. They look nicer than the originals because they were printed on really crappy paper. because they were only 10 cents each. And these are printed on 128 grams per meter matte coated stock paper, so the colors really pop out. And they were all adjusted so that they look really good. And here's some more pages. And then let's skip to the John Buscema, because this is all Alex Toth's work. Here's the John Buscema stuff. And it's interesting, just so everybody knows, the Alex Toth continuities were inked by Alex Toth. The John Buscema were inked by Mario Acquaviva, who inked a lot of his work during that period. This book contains, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Alex Toth stories. And then contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 John Buscema stories. And there are more stories, and we have plans to print a second volume of this. So stay tuned. That probably will be next year, not this year. Anyway, the book looks great. Here's the last page, with Roy telling you to have happy trails. So this book is currently in transit from China. This book is late because of the Chinese New Year's and because of the COVID-19 virus, which has caused most of the printing plants in China to be closed because it hit right after the Lunar New Year's, the Chinese New Year. The COVID-19 virus closed most of the printing, if not all the printing plants in China. We have been using the same plant for over a decade. They do phenomenal work for us. We stuck by them. Here, look at this. You see, the reason we use this printing plant is because they do such a fine job. These books are smooth sewn. As you can see, it lays completely flat. You can go like this, or look, no problem. Pages aren't falling out or anything like that. And when you read this book, you don't have to worry about the gutter creeping up and sucking all the pages in. See that? It's not falling apart. Here, look. So we get really fine quality. We print all of our art books with them. They do a great job and have done a great job for us. And you just don't end a relationship because problems present themselves. They had nothing to do with those problems. So our stuff is late. This book is in transit from China, and we expect to have it here in the United States in about 3 weeks from the time you look at this video. It'll be available in comic book stores. After that, it'll be available on Amazon.com. After that, it obviously is done because you can see it. See, you can see. Here's the back, incidentally. It's got 2 panels and some more information about the Roy Rogers comic books. But you can get it through us earlier because when it arrives here, we immediately ship our orders. And we usually discount most of these books. So you get a good deal on them. You get them more quickly than if you buy them through your local comic book store or through Amazon. Although if you want to buy them through your local comic books or Amazon, we think that's great. We want to support booksellers as well as comic book stores. But you have a third option because of our website, which is www.hermespress1word.com. Any questions? Email info@hermespress.com. You can call me, or you can email Sabrina or Candace. That's all listed in all the books that we've done on the website and everything. And so, happy trails. The book's done. And that's all for now. Bye-bye.